Thank you very much for having the opportunity to speak to you. If we want to strengthen the public trust in the positive influence of Europe, we have to initiate a dialogue among different population groups. The young and the elderly, the ones with a higher or a lower level of education, and we have to discuss in urban and rural areas. This is why we support initiatives which take up the ideas of citizens concerning the future of Europe. We need to raise the awareness of the EU importance among the people in the regions. We have to enter into a dialogue with all citizens to prevent the European project from becoming a project or staying a project for the elite. People will have to feel that their life is positively influenced by the EU. EU money, cohesion money, is very much felt by the people in the regions. It's a fact that we are currently faced with many challenges and EU member states will not be able to cope with them on their own. Next to climate policies and employment and social policies, foreign policy, the protection of the EU's external borders and migration policy are going to play a significant role in the future. The EU is also faced with great budgetary challenges. These new tasks require funding, and the Brexit makes the situation even more challenging. The EU will therefore have to identify the most important areas for future action and try to improve its own capacity to act in these fields. When we talk about the EU's future budget, we also have to keep in mind expenditures instead of only talking about revenues. Adjusting expenditures may also relieve budgetary pressure in the future. Every task assumed by the EU will have to be assessed in terms of its potential to create added value. Improving economic, social and territorial cohesion is one of the cornerstones of the European Union and therefore a central element of our common future. The EU's cohesion policy plays a central role in achieving this common goal. It is the most important investment policy and an expression of solidarity among EU member states. With its long-term perspective, the EU cohesion policy is the main source of growth-stimulating investments in disadvantaged regions and innovation in better developed regions. Lower Austria therefore advocates the continuation of the EU cohesion policy without too much cutting the allocated budget. An excessive reduction of the available budget would threaten continuity. It should be made sure that all regions will continue to be involved in the EU's regional policy in the future, which plays an important role in strengthening economic, social and territorial cohesion between developed and less developed regions. As before, financial support should be focused on the most disadvantaged regions. The EU cohesion policy can, however, also help better developed regions to cope with the challenges and tasks they are increasingly faced with. Due to the new framework conditions, it will, however, be necessary to use the funds of the EU cohesion policy in an even more efficient way to create an added value for the EU. Cohesion policy needs to be directed even stronger towards common European goals. In this connection, it is important that European priorities are implemented in consideration of regional needs. This means that measures and funds should focus on the most important issues and regional challenges, in particular in better developed regions. In example, the excessive number of goals pursued by cohesion policy should be sensibly reduced. Cohesion policy funds should no longer be used for objectives which should actually be covered by other programs and initiatives. On the other hand, there should be different goals for different regions because the needs are different. Managing the European structural and investment funds is a highly complex task. A comprehensive reform of their implementation is more than necessary. The principle of proportionality and a differentiated approach should be consistently implemented. Instead of a strict cost control, a stronger focus should be placed on the achievement of goals and results of individual intervention. These necessary adaptations constitute a prerequisite for assessing the potential added value creating for the European Union by its future cohesion policy. Once more, the goals can be different. We must trust each other to name and to reach them. To reach the right goals for our regions, which have to be named and approved, no question, but the point is that it is not possible that we will all need the same ones. On the other hand, the regions' governments will have to deserve the trust which is given by the EU and the other member states. At least controlling should not be more expensive than trust. Before I come to an end, let me also address European territorial cooperation, which is especially important for Lower Austria due to our geographical situation. For decades, the European territorial cooperation instruments have been providing subsidies and have therefore supported European integration in a very specific way. European territorial cooperation is important for creating an added value for the European Union and should absolutely be continued in the future. Working together across borders is the best way to overcome borders in our minds. And if we do that, we can work with a lot more trust with each other, and that will really bring us forward. Thank you.